Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another real weather forecast. I got lots of weather to talk about as our next cold front will approach tomorrow, but dry conditions will persist today. Now, with that cold front that's approaching tomorrow, it will not be much of a weather maker as it will be quite a dry front with not much precip with it. Now, there will be a chance for some isolated mostly shower activity as there's not too much energy in the atmosphere for any thunderstorms to get going. And I'll show that real quick. Now, for thunderstorms, we look at the cape in the atmosphere, which is convective, allowing potential energy. So what that means is the more cape there is, the more allowing it'll let convection to build and higher. And as I put it in time, you can really see most of the cape will be offshore and maybe just along the coast. So it's not really in the way of cape. Probably do expect to see maybe some more of the thunderstorm activity offshore, especially over the Atlantic, as that cold front slides through, but not really a storm maker for us, as most of it will be. Let me go back to the model. Most of it will look like to be shower activity, as a thin line, maybe some moderate shower with some gusty winds too, as the winds will definitely pick up from the north. Now, here is 5 o'clock for tomorrow during dinner time, and that looks like it'll approach the Volusia area, and then as it slides down south, heading into Martin County by 10, but by the time it hits down there, it starts to break apart, and the cold front slides through overnight. And tomorrow, the weekend looks beautiful, a little chilly. And we can look at by that at the temperatures. So here is that cold front sliding through. 50s start to come in, 40s up north Saturday morning. So it'll be quite chilly. But I do expect it to warm up not very much, up into the 60s. Now, since spring is coming up, and that's usually severe weather season for here in Florida, as especially into the Gulf Coast, we get lots of severe weather starting usually in March, between March and April into even early May. We start to see severe weather start popping up, and a good sign is if we look at the 3-month outlook, you can see precipitation is much above average, or a decent chance of seeing it here in Florida, as we are still in an El Nino state, and El Nino will stick with us through at least spring, but there's very strong signals of it weakening and transitioning back into La Nina right in time for hurricane season, which I'll talk about that in next update. More about the hurricane season and what my forecast thinks for it. And for a little sneak peek, it looks a little busy. So go back to our front. That's supposed to slide through tomorrow. So right now they're gonna see some severe weather up in the Tennessee area. So it'll be a little bit of severe weather up there, above their marginal risk, maybe a slight, but this will progress this way, but weaken at the same time as the moisture availability becomes less and less. Now, interesting enough, it does show there probably will be some thunderstorms chance, best in the panhandle as the front slides through, but it'll lose its punch as it comes down, only resulting in just a chance for showers. And then it clears up very nicely after that as high pressure builds in right behind the front. Rainfall totals, not really much, under half an inch, if that, as it'd be very quick and not very heavy rainfall, as most of it would be shower activity and very short-lived. And so we head back. Ah, yes, sorry. So going back to a little sneak peek on our El Nino. So here is a good way of seeing how the waters are doing out in the equator part of the Pacific. Now, all of us would hear about the word term El Nino and La Nina, but what really is it? Well, essentially, what it is it's the water temperature in the equator on the Pacific side of South America, and when the waters are much cooler along the equator in the Pacific, that it tends to be a La Nina. Then when they're much warmer, which is right now, it's El Nino. And when the waters are much warmer, we tend to see much more convective activity, which then makes rising air, thunderstorms, and what goes up must come down. So then all that air that convects up has to fan out and diverges away above us. And the air that comes out comes over the Atlantic side and seeps through, causing wind shear, which you do not want for thunderstorm activity and hurricanes. Well, you do want it for thunderstorms if you want severe, but like what's it called? Concise, like condensated hurricanes. Now, here's a good way of looking at the temperature anomalies. I do have a better picture here. So, what this shows me is you can see there's warmer anomalies, which means it's warmer than average. So we're still El Nino, but you can see what's below it. Much cooler than average. And what's going on is it's called a Kelvin wave in the water. As when winds burst this way, it pushes. Sorry, maybe go back over here. So as the wind comes over here, think of this as here's South America, and here over here is like Fiji, Australia is over here. So then you get a strong westerly wind burst, and then what happens is it chisels the water away and pushes all this warm water over, which we get our El Nino. But once the winds start to switch this way, it pushes the warm water right here this way, and the cooler water comes this way and fills in what was left of the warm water, and that is known as upwelling. And it's a process that keeps going on, and it'll eventually cool off the surface, and then we'll eventually get into a neutral phase, and then looks like we get to La Nina by September, just in time for hurricane season. All right, so let's go back to our model. Let's get a little more precise step of what's going on here. So this is looking into tomorrow afternoon, into dinner time right here. So there could be some isolated pockets of heavier rain, but it's a very thin line of showers. Maybe possible thunderstorm, but as you can see, most of the stronger storm activity is offshore, as we saw from that's where all the Cape is mostly available, and plus the Gulf Stream runs about roughly like this, which is pretty warm waters. Then we also got here's our nice northwesterly winds from the cold front and your southwesterly, and you get a nice clash of winds, which is at your frontal boundary, and then that's pretty much what a front is. A little crash course on that. So as we run along the time here, go back over here, see that the front slides through. There could be some nice stronger storms if if the atmosphere allows it, but I'm not really seeing much. Definitely no severe weather. Don't expect any severe weather at all. Not the ingredients for that. So what about today's weather? Well, today right now it's beautiful out. Not a cloud in the sky as we still have high pressure over us. And let's see, what am I doing? I'll go look at the satellite for you guys. So if we look at satellite, so very, very clear skies as the sunshine state is going to its name right now. And there is actually, there's a little some kind of cool right now what's going on off the coast. See these guys right off the coast? It's pretty much telling you where the Gulf Stream is located. That's pretty cool. Those are little marine stratocumulus, looks like. And the Gulf Stream pretty much goes right there. Much warmer water. And I'm assuming that the air above us is quite chilly. So you get a nice big contrast, allowing some cloud development. And you're probably wondering why there ain't no clouds above us right now. That is because we most likely have an inversion above us, which is pretty much the warming of the atmosphere as you go up, dry sinking air. And if I look at a sounding, let's say right here. Ah, yes. And there's your inversion right there. This is all very, very dry air right here. You want these guys to be very close. The red's temperature and the green's dew point. So when they're right next to each other, that's a very moist atmosphere. So you can see little moist right about 900, 850 millibars above. So maybe cloud activity might change as we head into the day. So overall, looks like a pretty clear day, which is good. That is what the GFS is showing. Now there is some above streamer clouds, but overall it looks like another sunny day until that front slides through. But after the slant, yeah. So okay. So very sunny day today. A little warmer than yesterday, but still in the low 70s, no 80s. Not really seeing 80s anytime soon, unfortunately. But we'll get into that. March. March is usually the time when we start seeing warmer temperatures. Alright, and that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And overall, the weather pattern's looking pretty good for us. Just a little chance for rain tomorrow. Nothing severe, no flooding. It'll be quick. And if you're looking for warm weather, unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait. It's not here yet. It's still gonna be a little chilly next week. And no severe weather expected for us here in the next week. Thank you, and see you again on the next one.